Hello and welcome to the CNY Business Connection. I'm Jason Weinstein. Coming up on this week's show, we'll go behind the scenes at the new on-the-job training program. We'll let you know how it helped one employee rescue his career while adding to the bottom line of his new company. Plus, you may be sick of the winter weather with its cold and snow, but there's one industry in New York State which can't get enough of it. Steve Craig will have more on that, but we'll begin with the latest in business news from around the area. There's an app for everything these days, so why not for travel and traffic info in New York State? Governor Cuomo says the new mobile app offers real-time travel info and is printer-friendly. It's an upgrade of the State Department of Transportation 511 New York system. It will provide constant updates regarding traffic, transit, and emergency service notifications, as well as weather advisories. The 511 NY mobile application is a free app that BlackBerry, iPhone, and Google Android mobile device users can download. Do women have specific financial planning needs? Whether it's planning for retirement or paying for a child or grandchild's education, planning ahead is crucial. A financial advisor explained how to do that during a seminar called A Woman's Guide to Money Matters. Part of the trick is to learn what needs to be done and stick to a plan.
It's not so much year to year. We want to look at the long term. I mean, what are we doing in 15 years and 20 years? Our planning for retirement shouldn't be and what do I do this month or this year? It's a 20 to 30 plus year thing.
Seems like patience is key and making smart, wise investments. You want to study different trends. Don't always be scared. It's not about, just kind of ride the wave. You don't put something in and take something right out, but being patient, really.
Those attending the seminar were told that the better they plan, the more confident they'll become as they work toward their goals. Tips for success. Top area businesswomen helped head the annual Girls Take Charge Leadership Conference. Around 75 girls in grades 7 through 12 took part in the skill-building workshops. Local female leaders worked with the girls and described their own paths to success. Beth Mooney, the executive director of the program, says the goal is to empower individuals to pursue their dreams.
Anytime a student can learn, again, how to make a positive difference, that's our clear motivation. Because if they can make a positive difference in themselves, then they're going to likely create that positive difference of change in their schools as well.
Mooney says she wants to provide role models who will inspire girls to succeed, adding that there are too many negative celebrity role models out there. Landowners are joining together to act against gas companies they say are taking advantage of them. Gas coalitions are teaming with attorneys to sue companies like Chesapeake, Norse, and Inflection. They claim energy companies are trying to extend leases that have expired since they were unable to drill due to the statewide moratorium.
Many of those leases were signed 10 years ago when the Marcellus wasn't really on anybody's radar. Those leases were poorly drafted and also were done at $3 an acre. Some of these companies like Chesapeake, they are arguing that they can extend that lease forever as long as they make a $3 an acre payment a year.
Kurkowski adds that the moratorium only applies to high-volume hydraulic fracturing, and that other types of gas extraction are allowed in New York.
My land was on top of a formation called the Marcellus Shale.
Love him or hate him, Josh Fox, producer and director of Gasland, has caught Hollywood's attention. The anti-gas drilling film got the Oscar nomination nod in the Best Documentary Feature category. Local reaction has been mixed.
I am thrilled for him. It is so deserving. And Gasland is the movie that woke me up.
While it's unfortunate that there isn't an Oscar category for propaganda, this nomination is fitting as the Oscars are aimed at praising pure entertainment among Hollywood's elite.
Fox's success has attracted friends and foes alike. Friends in the form of people concerned about the environmental impact of gas drilling. Foes in the form of gas producers who have devoted websites to inform the public about their practices and debunk the Gasland documentary.
Whoa, Jesus Christ.
In this memorable scene, a man lights up his tap water, which is assumed to be contaminated by a natural gas leak caused by drillers. A group called Energy in Depth says that assumption is incorrect, but a Dimock, Pennsylvania man says he's living that reality every day.
You can speak to many people who've been in these areas for decades, and they will tell you that they've had to deal with gas in their water for a long time before there was any natural gas development around the area.
They got all these people that say all these statements that Dimock has been known to have problems with their wells, but I know that we didn't have a problem with our well. We didn't have any gas in it.
Gasland documents Fox's quest to find out about the natural gas industry after he receives a letter from a drilling company offering to lease his family's land in northern Pennsylvania. Fox plans to follow up his film with a sequel. No word yet on when it will be released or what it will be called.
We hope you enjoyed that. When we come back, you may be sick of all the cold and snow this winter, but one industry in New York State certainly is not. We'll have that story, plus the latest bit of business wisdom from someone who has lived it thanks to our friends at Prendismo.com.
I'm Norm Poltenson. I've published the Central New York Business Journal for 25 years. Our success is based on the fact that we know only one audience, owners and managers of businesses in Central New York. We publish stories for them, we don't offer sound bites, and we always source our information. Maybe technology's changed since I started publishing 25 years ago, but not our mission. You can always rely on the Central New York Business Journal providing your business news.
I'm Susan from Tarjac. You may know us as the source for the best camo for your guns and bows, but we do so much more. Our custom work with automotive parts can transform any vehicle, our ATVs, sleds, four-wheelers, motorcycles. We've received national recognition for our work with Orange County Choppers, and we are most proud of our partnership with the future servicemen by providing customized helmets for the Army-Navy game. From the national stage to your favorite hunting ground, it's Tarjac.
Welcome back. Well, are you sick of all the cold and snow this winter? One New York industry is definitely not. Steve Craig has more.
Sunny but barely double-digit temperatures. No good for what Bowman Lake State Park is used for most of the year, but perfect for this. Today, 8 local snowmobile clubs moved in for the Snow Blast, a chance for seasoned riders and new recruits to marvel at the sport's modest beginnings and to hold on tight during demo rides of the newest sleds. No complaints about cold, just the opposite.
They kind of like this stuff because the trails hold up a little better and we don't have any problems with trails deteriorating. So
temporary trails for the Snow Blast are made by literally blasting through the snow with this huge and expensive groomer. Permanent trails, part of the 1,000-plus mile regional network, require year-round work. Snowmobile registration money pays for it, funneled from Albany through the counties to the clubs.
And that money comes back only to the clubs that justify the expenses by going out and treeing, making sure the trees are taken care of, make sure the trails are cleared, make sure they're signing up. We have tons and tons of signing.
Statewide, more than 10,000 miles of trails are maintained in this way. Steve Lewis is in charge of all of it.
We're currently funding at about $4.3 million that go into the counties and clubs, and that's all from registration dollars. There are no tax dollars collected that go into snowmobiling.
That investment pays off in a trail network that supports not only routine local rides, but destination outings that attract visitors to local businesses.
Get them into businesses. We have corridors connecting the communities, secondaries that are feeding the businesses, services, things of that nature. And that's really the crux of what the program is.
Our thanks to Steve for that. Time now to turn things over to our friends at Prendismo.com, partnering with entrepreneurs for success. And this week's bit of business wisdom from someone who has lived it. Find out how confidence despite failure can lead to success.
I think to have that confidence level, you have to accept the good and the bad. And when you have a mind shift or you change your mindset on what can happen and know that things won't always turn out well, but just keep pushing forward and having confidence in your past experiences. So what I do is on my wall, I have things that I've done well in the past. And I look at those things, everything from running for student government president back in undergrad to starting Great Black Speakers to doing many different types of summer programs. I that keeps me grounded and makes me understand and makes me realize that I'm not a failure, even though I might have failed at one thing. I think about, I believe it was Thomas Edison that says, to increase the rate of your success, increase the rate of your failures, because it took him thousands of times to find the right mold and model to create the light bulb. And Thomas Edison is one of the greatest inventors of all time, and we have to take that type of mindset that really successful people fail a lot, and knowing that that is the case, you can't lose your confidence during those failing times because you're missing your success for the future.
We hope you enjoyed that. When we come back, it's our business improvement segment. We'll have our latest tech tip from Cyber City, and Bob Stezzi from Stezzi Training and Consulting will talk about managing through change. Welcome back. Time now for our business improvement segment, and we'll kick it off as we always do with our latest tech tip from Cyber City. And this week, the differences between a dynamic and static IP address.
Hello, my name is Debbie Morris, Account Manager at Cyber City, a division of Bluestorm Technologies. As a business owner, your online focus is keeping your website updated and making sure that your email works without any issues. It's likely that you leave your website and email hosting to a third party, and unless a problem occurs, it should function transparently to your daily operations. However, recent changes by internet service providers have caused some issues for business email and their associated websites and e-commerce business. One of the biggest problems has been that regular email exchanges from known associates are suddenly being blocked because the sender's IP address is not being recognized. The solution depends on whether your hosting package is assigned a dynamic or static IP. This is a good time to do a review to see if your business is ready to move to a static IP. Many small businesses are using solutions that have dynamic IP addresses. An IP address is used to direct the traffic of the internet backbone and mapping it to your domain name. Dynamic IP addresses have always been a good, low-cost alternative for a company building their online presence. However, sharing a dynamic IP also comes with some risk. First, there are service disruptions caused by the need to renew IP addresses from the shared pool of available addresses. Also, there is the threat that your business can be flagged as a spammer if your IP gets reset to an IP address that was once used to send spam emails. If your domain is ever flagged, it can be an expensive process of time, effort, and money to have your name cleared from the blacklist. As the sole user of a static IP, you are protected from possible service disruptions caused by issues in renewing a dynamic IP and by having your domain associated with the illegal activities of other users. A static IP also provides additional benefits for a growing business if you are looking to set up a VPN or want to manage your own secured e-commerce store. More on static IP versus dynamic IP can be found on the hosting page at cybercity.com. Feel free to contact me or your Cyber City account manager to arrange for a discussion and understand the options available for your business.
Thanks to our friends at Cyber City for that. Time now to turn things over to Bob Stezzi from Stezzi Training and Consulting. And this week, Bob talks about managing through change.
One of the biggest problems for organizations of all kinds today is dealing with constant change. Whether you're a large corporation dealing with the economic situations and other realities of current times, or a nonprofit organization depending on state or federal funding in order to be successful, organizations need to be able to deal with changes that are affecting them and guide their people through these changing times. The first thing leaders need to do is to kill complacency in the organization. It's very easy for organizations to become complacent over time, but in order to meet the challenges of changing times, what you really have to do is inject a sense of urgency into the workforce. Second thing we need to do in our organizations is clarify the purpose of the organization. What I mean by that is, what is the mission, vision, and what are the goals of the organization? This helps us navigate through changing times. The mission of the organization tells everyone in the organization and outside of it exactly what the purpose of the organization is, what we do, who we do it for, and how we do it. The vision for the organization is something that can really help you get through changing times because it's showing people what the final destination is. In other words, the more clear we are about where we're headed, the easier it is for people to get through those changing times. Finally, the goals are measurable steps that let our people know that we're accomplishing our mission and moving toward our vision. Of course, to accomplish this, we have to involve our people. So let's talk to our people, get their input about how we're going to make the changes, because the more involved they are in the decision processes, the more committed they'll be to the changes themselves. Let's not forget to train people too, because if we're asking people to do things in a different way, let's make sure that we give them the training they need to be successful. Another very important tip is to make sure that we're leading by example. In other words, show your optimism and show people that you are actually putting the time in and backing up where the organization is trying to get to. Finally, let's make sure that we celebrate progress toward our goals. We have to celebrate with our people and let them know that they're making progress in order to keep them motivated and help them to be successful during changing times. If you'd like more information on how to help your people be successful during times of change, or if you'd like to bring in an in-house workshop, please contact Stesi Training at stesitraining.com. Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed that. When we come back, On the Job Training. It's a new program, and we'll go behind the scenes to show you how it saved the career of one employee while helping the bottom line of his new company. Welcome back. On the Job Training. It's a new program which provides just that. And we'll go behind the scenes to tell you how it helps save the career of one employee while helping the bottom line of his new company.
Up until 3 months ago, Craig Emerson was unemployed. He came home from serving in the Army and couldn't find a job until he walked into Dunn Electric Supply in Binghamton.
They had a program through Workforce New York, and I went over to them and got some information, signed on with them, and they assisted me in getting a job here.
The program, OJT, or On the Job Training, a matchmaking program of sorts. It links up businesses that require specialized skills and finds employees in need of work and then pays the company the cost of training.
Many of the people that are going to the OJT facility and filling out the paperwork, they have a better opportunity to find a job because it's a good place for employers to go to find people to fill their open positions.
The program covers 50 to 90% of training-related expenses. OJT is designed to encourage businesses to hire long-term, unemployed, dislocated workers, and it seems to be working.
It's always good to get a job after a short spell of not having employment.
It made it much easier for us to hire him and to begin training with him.
Especially in trade work.
If you didn't have a history of being in the business, you wouldn't have the faintest idea what someone was talking about.
Through the program, Craig is learning plenty of electrical jargon that he wouldn't normally know, such as a pancake box, a compact fluorescent like this one, or even a mud box.
This is a mud box. It's for holding receptacles or...
He's learning with our warehouse foreman, who kind of takes him under his arm, and every day they work together and he shows them how we conduct business.
While Craig is working, he also takes courses online to learn
So
about
has this been hard to learn kind of stuff like...
1 hour a day that is devoted for my training time, and I pretty much almost completed an entire section of training courses.
So not only does he have a full-time job, but Craig is also learning every day.
The more parts of the industry that you know about, the better your opportunities are for the future. That's just a given. You know, the more you learn, the more useful it is for you.
And it's definitely working for him.
He's eager. He's a hard worker. He doesn't stop going from the time he gets in until the time he leaves. I'm very, very pleased with him.
And Craig couldn't be happier that he's no longer unemployed.
We hope you enjoyed that. And that does it for this episode of the CNY Business Connection. Thank you very much for joining us. Until next time, I'm Jason Weinstein. Have a good one.